Fun Fresh Footy with Pete and Ash.
It's Fun Fresh Footy.
There is an intro going on right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fun Fresh Footy, the podcast with terrible tips and great yarns, brought to you today by our 35th podcasting studio. That's right, on the couch with Pete and Ash and Hannah. If this does go up on YouTube, you will see Hannah in the background. Say g'day.
G'day everyone.
That's Hannah. Petey, how are you, mate? It's the 18th of February. We're fucking ripping through this month. What's going on?
I'm good. Look, we've got a bit of a setup in here. It might look very luxurious from the YouTube clip if it gets up, but yeah, it's a little bit like ghetto in here.
We will actually take a photo of how it is set up and we'll post it just so you can kind of get a visual of what we're looking at, because it's very different. It's, what would you say, innovative? How do you say that word? Innovative?
Innovative?
Yeah, innovative. Thank you.
I don't think it said innovative.
It is now. Yeah, so as you would have heard in the introduction, if the intro actually did play, we do have a live studio audience. So Hannah's joined us on the couch. Dave and Frankie are also here as well. So if you do hear muffled voices, we'll tell them to shut the fuck up. We've also got the trials playing in the background as well, hence why we wanted to do it in the lounge room so we could have the TV going. But anyway, that's a whole other fucking kettle of fish, because that was a shit show as well, trying to get that going. Currently the Chooks are losing, but that's all right. It's an 80-minute game.
It is, and at the end of the day, we'll go into it now. No first graders are in the side, so I'm still confident we can come back, but
Except for Lockie Lamb.
yeah, Lucky Lamb. Oh, shut up. Lucky Lamb and Drew Hutchinson, my two favourites.
Yeah, so to be honest, I haven't really watched any of it, so if we do lose interest in this podcast...
We had a lot of internet dramas, but yeah, we've got it going on the laptop now, but nonetheless, we got this brand new TV this week, which is ginormous, and we can't even watch the footy on it, which is...
So let's back it up before we go through our weeks. And so you bought this television, which for anyone that's listening, it is fucking huge. It is enormous. I walked in and was like, that's a lovely piece of furniture for this lounge room. Every time I come in, there's an extra piece of furniture in this lounge room. I get excited every week when I turn up.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago when you came in, there was just a plant.
Was there? I didn't even notice. It was so bare.
That one.
So bare. Now we've got this fantastic lounge, which we're recording from, pardon me. Now we've got the television that doesn't work, but that's all right.
It does work, the internet just doesn't work.
Let's back it up again. Let's talk about why it's not working. The storm that hit last night.
It's been a little bit patchy at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
But I think that the storm really just was the straw that broke the camel's back, because it won't work at all now. It won't even load Instagram on my phone now.
Yeah, so that storm was a motherfucker. Did you just get
Loud as fuck?
loud? Did it hail here?
No, I don't think so. I wasn't standing out in it.
I wasn't going to investigate.
I just heard that it was loud. Oh God, the laptop's stopped now too. An Adobe update.
Oh, of all fucking times. While Peter sorts that out, I'm going to quickly turn to my audience. Now, there was a storm that brewed and hit Newcastle last night. Did it hit you in Northampton?
It did hit me in Northampton, Crab. Did it hit you in Northampton also?
Bitch, I'm in Waratah West. Don't you forget it.
Dave, did it hit you in Yeppoon?
No, I think it's
It didn't quite get up to Yeppoon, 15 hours drive away, but
Day's day trip.
most of the suburbs of Newcastle did cop it.
It was fucked. It was so, like you said, it was so incredibly loud. I had every single curtain shut. I hate storms. Let me just make that clear. I hate storms. I'm such a bitch when it comes to storms. Had all the curtains shut, and every time I could see a little flash of light, I was grabbing the dog and just like squeezing her and blocking my ears. It was fucked. We lost power for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, we did too, but more like 15. It was just like bang, a really loud crack, and then everything went black, and then it just like 15 seconds later it all came back up.
Yeah, that was the same as I was walking to my bedroom and it happened, and as it happened, my housemate screamed, but she's also then walked into me at the same time coming out of the bathroom. So she's hit me, then I've screamed, and then we're like, heard the little dog running from the lounge room coming in. It's like, all right, girls, we need to pull ourselves together right now. But anyway, power's come back on.
How does the dog go with Storms, your new housemate Ocean?
Ocean, is the love of my life at the moment. Bless her little heart.
Does she like Storms though? Because Frankie, not a big fan.
Yeah, a couple of like loud claps of thunder. Are you okay?
Look, I'm just having some teething issues with the new equipment.
The same equipment, different
I
setup.
feel like I have to look this way, but then I'm like wanting to look at you guys. So.
Put it between your legs.
Well, that's what I just tried to do.
And what happened?
It fell over a bit.
Is it because they're tangled?
No, it's because the lounge's squishy.
I don't know how mine's sitting up. My big bloody thunder thighs are holding the mic up.
Well, I'll try again. You just keep going.
Ocean was good, bar a couple of loud claps. I probably wasn't helping the situation. The fact that I'm carrying on like an absolute flip didn't help. But no, she was pretty cool, calm and collected.
I have to like sit there, and when I see the lightning, I rub Frankie's ears so she doesn't hear the thunder.
Oh, I needed you. I needed you so bad last
My
night.
dogs love storms.
No, Frankie thinks it's like people outside doing stuff, so she's just like...
Fraff goes and stands in it, and he'll be like, trying to catch all the rain.
Frankie likes rain, but not the thunder gets her.
Yeah, we had a staffy and he was fucking petrified of storms, eh? He would shake and like drool from the mouth and go white in the eyes. Yeah, poor bugger.
I think because my dogs were raised in a share house, they're used to like really loud environments all the time. And, you know,
Her mother? Their
they're
mother?
not afraid of sudden loud noises.
I should be fine then, hanging out with you idiots. Should be used to it.
I'll scare it out of you.
We needed to hang out with you from birth. I had too long with quiet.
Imagine Hannah coming out of the womb. You would have been the loudest fucking baby in the nursery, I reckon.
Hi!
Hey, Mom! I don't know why you're American, but... all right. Was there anything else we want to touch on that storm?
In the week that's happened?
Just the storm in general.
Oh, the storm. I'm happy to move on from the storm if you are.
I'm happy to move on. We'll go around. Hopefully you can hear everyone. We'll kind of give like a bit of we do the week that was, so we'll kind of give like a wrap of... Are you looking directly at the camera? Or are you watching?
No, I'm watching the game.
Oh, I was going to say, don't break the fourth wall, Hannah. We'll go around the week that was. We'll quickly run through what we've been up to. Petey, you kick us off. What have you been up to?
I've been working. As everyone knows, I've started full-time work, which is not the best.
Petey's on her own.
I actually like the job a lot. Like, it's very nice. It's very good. It's enjoyable. Today I was down on the Central Coast, which was like fine. But when you finish on a Friday arvo, the last thing you want is an hour's drive back home.
Fucking agreed.
But to be honest, it was actually like an alright day. But anyway, other than that, just work. Oh, and this week, we had a bit of like a tap fiasco. I came home, it was Tuesday, and actually, first of all, I got a concussion on Saturday. And then I've had, obviously, not the best week because of that. And like the first couple of days, I was like very upset about things and like all that kind of thing. And very brain foggy, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, we went to like, I was like, oh, I'll go to training, but I just won't do anything because like I'll just rest, but I'll just go. And then we were like, Penel and I were driving out of our street. We just like got out of the 9 ways, turning about to go like along Lambton Road, I think it is. And I just like started crying. I was like, I don't want to go. And he's like, all right, so there's like a spot you can just turn straight back in that like gets around to our house. So we just like pulled over and we came home and I was like, I think we're going to have a bath. And he's like, all right, like I'll pour a bath for you. I was like, oh, thank you.
Oh,
anyway, I was like, just make sure you like wash it because like heaps of like dirt and stuff gets in the bath. I was like, just wash out the bath.
Yeah,
He's like,
rinse, give it a rinse.
He's like, yeah, no worries. Anyway, he like turned the shower tap on to rinse the bath out. Which was fine. And then when he went to turn it off, it just would not turn off. It would just like click over.
No.
So, and it wouldn't even get less. So it was just like pouring out. And then our water meter out the front doesn't have like a tap on it that you can turn it off. It's just like a stump. It's like you need an attachment. So we couldn't turn the water meter off. And then we're just like sitting there. Anyway, Penel's got pliers and he's like pushing the like little metal bit from inside the tap in, and that's the only thing that makes it stop, sort of. Just to be like, so we're not wasting so much water until this plumber gets here, because we've rung the landlord, and he's like, yeah, I've got a plumber coming over. So he's holding it literally for 45 minutes. He's soaking wet because he has to like, it just eventually goes like, and then he has to like put it back in. And then I rang my dad originally, just being like, bro, what do I do? as you do.
I'm surprised you didn't hop on YouTube or something.
Well, we did that as well.
When all
No
else fails,
help.
hop on YouTube.
Anyways, yeah, rang dad, and he's like, oh, I don't know, eh. And then like, after the 45 minutes, he rings me back, and he's like, is it the hot water tap? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, well, you can probably turn it off at the hot water system.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, thank God. Meanwhile, I like had messaged the landlord back, because he's like, yeah, the plumber will call you very soon. And it's been 45 minutes. So I was like, excuse me, can I have his number? Because we can't stand here all night stopping the water from pouring out.
Some of us have full-time jobs
if
now.
we don't stand here, we're going to lose like thousands of litres of water by the morning.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so then once we got it sorted and we turned it off, I didn't bother calling the guy, because I was like, oh, whatever. Well, he'll call me and at least it's not losing water. And then the landlord rang me back. He's like, give him a call. He sent me a text that I think was for you. So I called him, and he's like, yeah, we can probably get there like 7:30, 8:30 in the morning. And I was like,
Bruh.
thank God we managed to turn it off.
What the fuck? Where is people's sense of urgency? This comes back to the Newcastle Council yarns for the last 2 weeks.
I've had a lot of issues with amenities and things, services lately. But yeah.
You've pissed off someone in your past
Anyway, and then they pretty much just like rang me, and they're like, what time do you get? Oh, that was the other thing. Plumber. I got on the phone to him. He's like, yeah, I can probably get there like in the morning sometime. He's like, I don't know when originally, he said. He's like, what time do you get up? And I was like, oh. And then he said to me, oh, you sound like you don't get up very early. And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? I was umming and ahhing, because I was going to say we'd all be out of the house by 7:30 at the latest. Thank you very much. And he's like,
Are you allowed to say that?
I was like,
Men are, apparently.
Plumbers are,
all I
apparently.
said was, like, thinking about it. What? Like, if it was because I get up late, surely he would have just thought, oh, she'll just, like, be happy to set an alarm. Like, obviously because I thought we'd all be gone. Anyway, he's like, well, you can just leave a key out. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, don't let my dog out. She has a little bit of a history of running away now. I was like, shut the gate, all right? And he's like, yeah, we do that. He's like, he was a bit of a wanker, actually, now that I really hash it out. He was like...
That's what we're here for.
He's like,
every week.
we do houses all the time. We're not going to leave the gate
Dirt,
open.
Peter, you're not the first fucking house
Anyway,
with a
get
dog.
home, gates open. Thank God I'd locked Frankie in the back half of the house. So I was like... Anyway, they fixed the tap.
Question, did you bathe that evening?
No. I just had a shower.
Did you stop crying?
Oh, wait. Do we mean the evening of the shower, like when it broke?
When it broke, did you manage to bathe?
Yeah, I went to the gym and had a shower.
Oh my God, yes. When you sent
Is
me
that why?
Yeah, so we've all gotten this Snapchat from Peter being like, something about going to the gym for a shower, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I didn't even think that your plumbing could be fucked.
Yeah, so I would have been happy to just have a cold shower, but I had to wash my hair.
Yeah.
You can't wash your hair in a cold shower.
No, you can't.
Too much.
I want to quickly... You always have the most hilarious yarns when we do the week that was, but I just want to give my cold shower story real quick, just while I remember. So we had a house inspection on the 16th, so we needed to make sure...
How did that go?
Good, except for a couple of weeds that apparently were showing, and Shelby didn't wipe her fan down, so really nitpicking.
Is that the kind of thing you get in trouble for at a house inspection?
I
thought that you got in trouble for that, like, when you move out.
No.
But, like...
We got in trouble for dusty curtains once.
In a house inspection?
Yeah.
Like, it's only you living there.
Well, my fan was running, so hopefully she didn't turn my fan off to inspect mine, because I haven't
Mine
run a
looks
cloth over that in the 2 weeks I've been there.
Mine looks a lot better when it's running.
How's when we had our final inspection when I was living in East Maitland with the girls, in the report that came back, there was heaps of shit that came back, but they were like, one of the things was you didn't wipe over the air conditioning remote.
Yeah, it's wild things, and like a little on like the pipe on the cistern and stuff in the toilet, or like
I was like, does the landlord even fucking wipe the air conditioning remote?
My sister,
anyone?
when my sister moved into her initial apartment in the Whitsundays, she had when she got in there, it was like dirty as. She had to like, and she's diagnosed with OCD and she's like the biggest neat freak in the world. Like, I hope you don't mind who said that, Keely. But anyways,
Shout out Keely.
Yeah, shout out Keely, our loyal listener.
One of the 11. We love you.
Anyways, she had to like full clean her apartment before she got in because she was like, I can't sit on this lounge. I can't go anywhere. It's disgusting. And then when she moved out, the same thing. She like cleaned it top to bottom. And again, it was like a little bit of dust on the top of the blinds.
Yeah.
What's a little bit of dust on the blinds or the fan ever done 21, really?
And it's the real estates. It's not the landlords.
Well, do you want to tell the funny yarn that you told me about
Oh, yeah.
the
yeah.
floorboard?
When, oh, yeah, that one. When we moved out of our rental, just before, about 3 weeks before we moved out, the floorboards of our bedroom, our middle leg of our bed just went through the floor. And so we moved the bed to check it out, and it was a bit of the floorboard had fallen through. We looked through, and it was just literally this thin plank of floorboard and just ground and under the house. That was all that was holding us in our room, was this very old, thin floorboard. So we rang the real estate and the landlords straight away. The landlords were like, yeah, don't worry about it, it's an old house, like, you're moving out in 3 weeks, when you go, we'll just rip it up, slap a new one down, no problems. But when we moved out, obviously they didn't tell the young little receptionist that was doing the inspection. So she came through and I got an email from her after she'd been in with the caption at the top, all in capital letters, urgent, broken floor. And then this, all in capital letters in the email, please explain extensive damage to home. And then this little hole, about 9 different photographed angles of this hole, which I got while I was at work and just laughed. And just sent an email back in capital letters going, please ask the landlords why they haven't fixed it yet, as they have accepted full responsibility. And then 3 days later got I'm so sorry email back.
Yeah, they take fucking forever to reply.
But we had the same thing when our tenants moved out of the house we bought. They rang us and they were like, oh, look, we haven't released the bond yet because there was a pinhole in the lounge room wall. And I was like, well, get a contractor out there. I just went, that's okay with me. I'm happy to let that slide.
Yeah.
Like, there were 3 20-year-old kids about to move in.
They didn't put a hole through the wall.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't put each other out the walls. Like, it's not a big deal to me.
I think the moral of the story is real estates just need to take a chill pill.
Well, at this house, we don't have a real estate. We just have landlords, and they're very chill.
That's a good thing.
See, that's where we made mistakes.
Dave, just give me a beer.
Do the signal.
Thought it'd be easier for him to get up.
Sorry, we got a little bit sidetracked there. I was just going to say, the other day I had to mow the lawn, and I hadn't mowed the lawn since I'd moved in, and it was already quite long when I had moved in because of all the rain we'd had. So anyway, I broke out the new lawnmower and whippersnipper. Thank you. Filled up the green bin, which was emptied on a Saturday or a Sunday by Newcastle Council, so thank you for that. Anyway, then I've gone to go and have a shower, so I'm starkers standing there. I reckon I stood there for a good 3, 4, 5 minutes waiting for the hot water to like come on, and no, it wasn't. I'm like, what the fuck? I go around, I'm checking, putting my clothes back on, check the meter box. Then I realise that there's actually no power to the house at all. And I'm like, oh, shit.
I remember this, talking about this.
Yeah.
What ended up being the cause?
Well, I don't know what led me to do it, but I was like, I'm going to quickly jump on and see if there's power outages.
Oh, yes, I remember.
There was a huge power outage in Waratah. The pole at the end of my street, which was like 4 houses down, was being repaired from 8 till 4, and I'm like, well, beauty, it's 12:30 in the afternoon, I'm covered in grass and sweat, I've also been to the gym, I'm also fucking starving, I couldn't cook anything, even the gas was off.
And you know what wigged me out is the fact that it actually stretched really far, because I went to go to Lowlands for Emma's birthday, Emma Reynolds.
This wasn't this day.
Wasn't that the same day?
No, this was like fucking Wednesday.
Oh.
Or Tuesday.
I thought did you get power outages that day too, Bob?
No.
Oh, never mind.
There was one like all through Newcastle the other
Yeah,
week,
on
though.
Saturday. Yeah, because I just got to Lowies, got dropped off, and then they were like,
Sorry,
we
bruh.
can't pour you any beers. There's no power.
The gas in the beers didn't work. No. Cheers to Great Northerns also for making the best drop of beer. Look, to be honest, the rest of my week was pretty chill. I've just been working. I've only come off one day of work. Today is my first day of work. Peter's work bender's finished. Mine's just begun. Been still training, being consistent with that. Haven't been as consistent with my French this week as what I was last week. I feel like it was a bit of a fad.
Bit of a fizzle out.
Bit of a fizzle out. They do keep reminding me that my 8-day streak's going to break soon, so I need to do that. I will just say one thing. God, my words are muddled today. On Monday, after I finished work, Lily is working in Foster for the week. How is this not sitting up again?
Is this past tense you're talking about?
So this whole week, Lily worked in Foster.
Yes.
And so I decided I'm going to go up and scab 1 free night's accommodation and whatnot.
Why not?
And it was lovely. I haven't been to Foster in years. Went for a little dippy dip, walk, plenty of beers at the Lakes? Is that the pub, the local pub there? Don't know. But
I have been to
schooners
Foster,
were
but I
fucking
couldn't
cheap
tell
there,
ya.
so that was good. But anyway, that was bliss. Good
That
for
was
the
on
soul.
Valentine's Day too, wasn't it?
It was.
Romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had fish and chips and fucking pub beers
Oh, yeah.
and a swim.
We had spag bowl.
Yeah. Fuck, what'd you do? Michael didn't.
Michael didn't come home till late. He got caught up talking at work.
What'd you do for Valentine's Day, Dave?
Cook yourself a nice dinner.
Same.
That sounds fantastic. Did you get up to anything exciting in the week?
Not much. Just working at the hospital for the week.
So what do you do for work?
I'm a nurse.
Where at?
The Martyr.
The Marta. That's around the corner from my place.
When are you back at work?
I just came off 4 and then I'm back Monday.
Ooh, nice little weekend off.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing?
This? This. This is my plans.
This is it. Getting famous on the podcast.
Yeah,
You
no.
might be the reason we take off.
Yeah, it could be. It has been an okay week at work. It's the first week that we've had since a while that we haven't had any COVID patients. So it's been
That's nice.
a nice break. It has been a really nice break. I didn't go on strike because the Martyr Hospital is privately owned. So technically they don't have to follow strictly the rules of the New South Wales Health. So we got a very strict email saying you must not strike because it will not benefit you. So
Right. So even if they got the rules overturned, it
Yeah.
really wouldn't matter to you. Then
Even though we
your
are-
work would just be like,
yeah.
we don't have to pay you.
even though we are funded by New South Wales Health, we are not owned by New South Wales Health. So there's a grey area of rule following.
But do you
But-
reckon they treat you better or worse?
I would say it's probably the same.
Same,
The Martyr Hospital is quite a good hospital to
Yeah,
work
I've heard
at
that.
from previous experience. This has been a good one.
This one.
But it is very, very, very busy and very, very hard at the moment. Like it's
I
very,
couldn't imagine.
very strenuous, very sad, all sorts of things. But it feels like it's getting better, but
There's
you
a
never
light
know.
at the end of the tunnel.
It seems like it. It does
Right.
seem like it. But we're still a red zone, even though we don't have any at the moment. We're still having all the restrictions as if we did, so there's still no visitors. There's still limited, so you're constantly having to keep families up to date and things like that. And it's sad for people that are, coming to the end of their life. They're missing out on having the whole family because you're allowed 2 people. You can swap in and out as much as you want, but you still
At least they're
only get
getting
2
some
people with
visitors,
you.
which is not like enough.
It is a
but,
good
like,
benefit.
yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
Better than like literally having no one come in.
None. Yeah. And during COVID, like you could have someone come in and be with you, but they weren't allowed to touch you.
Well, see, when I was working in the hospital during COVID, just for placement, there was a period there where you weren't allowed any visitors at all.
But it's still the same.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
not even to come in, and it was just like very
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it's still the same. But now if we can get compassionate visitation
Yeah,
is
that's good.
approved. But they still have to go through a screening process. They still have to have a rat test on arrival. And it makes it quite difficult when they're visiting people that have had COVID that are cleared now, because it's like, are you a close contact? Well, yes, I brought them into hospital 2 weeks ago. Like, so it's tricky to navigate, but it seems to be maybe getting better, but it's still just horrible. I don't know if I'm just now conditioned to think this is a good situation because of how bad it was.
Yeah. If you were like fresh out of uni and you came straight into the hospital,
Horrific.
how it is now, you'd be like, ah!
Oh yeah, I'm thinking. And we do a lot of pulling them aside and going, I swear it wasn't like this.
Yeah. All the new grads, you're just like, stick in there, it gets better.
It should be alright in a few years. Like, you'll be right, you can do it.
Yeah. God.
Work, eh? The only good thing I will say, well, there's been plenty of good that's happening this week, bar the COVID and bar the water situation. Hannah and I actually broke in my local pub. Well, it's actually our local pub. The Royal... Is it the Royal Inn?
I don't know.
The Royal Inn at Waratah. So I became a member, and I
I don't know why I've got the Royal Oak stuck in my head, but I don't know if that's its
where-
name.
That sounds like a golf course.
I don't know.
And that was
Dave?
not where we were.
Royal Oak sounds like cigarettes.
Dave, can you Google that and find out where that is, please?
We've got our own Dior Dave.
Dior.
Producer Dave's just going to look that up for
Yes,
us.
our producer.
So yeah, we broke that in. I became a member. I also joined the
Oh, it's a pub in Sydney.
Clone.
I don't know why I would never, no way I ever would have been to that.
I've only been to
Is it near
Newtown.
the
And
cricket
that's
stadium?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, is it in Newtown? I know that somewhat.
I know that there's the town hall, and no one would let me go there. But yeah, anyway, we went there for a couple of beers. Beautiful beer garden. Be keen to try the restaurant. I've joined the footy tipping comp.
You did a lot in the 15 minutes before I got there.
I had a slap.
Made yourself comfortable.
I really did. I think I'm going to really enjoy myself.
You got to
there.
try out all it has to offer on your first go.
Fucking
Especially if you're going to be spending a lot of time there.
And I was by myself. I was just like, all right, get through my work before Hannah gets there, and I think it's going to be good. But it'd be nice to get you over there.
Yeah, I'm still keen on the spreadsheet idea where
I think
we
it's
hit up
going
everyone's local, we get Michael to make up a
Everything
spreadsheet.
started before us.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a
We
footy
need-
tipping
yeah.
comp to enter.
But yeah, I think we still get the spreadsheet idea going.
I do.
Visit all the locals, rate them, all that sort of stuff.
Well, where are we thinking next, girls and Dave?
We got to think of something that's in the middle of all of us. It can only stay in our circumference.
Well, we've all been. Well, half of us have been to the Royal. Great,
Yeah, good pub.
good pub.
We've got Lambton Park.
Lambton Park, we've all been to Lambton Park.
I like Lambton Park, bar the
No beer garden.
That's
There
it.
are two other pubs on that street. So we've got the Northumberland and we've also got the Marge.
We got cheap beers from the Northumberland.
It's a good bloke pub.
Yeah.
Well,
It could be good for us though.
I
And
feel,
then there's the Mark at the top of the street.
yeah, I've also been to the Mark. It felt a bit ritzy to me.
I've heard that it's quite fancy.
Yeah, we went there for dinner and I was like, this feels a little bit upper
I
class.
might have gone there on student night.
So where's like the General Robertson relation?
Closer to New Lambton, like over, you know where the New Lambton IGA is?
Yeah,
and
I know
Two
where it
Hands?
is, but where's that in relation to us?
Oh, past. If you're at the Lambton Park, go another kilometre past it.
Okay. If you guys,
What are your thoughts
It's out
of
of
including the ABC in the spreadsheet, even though it's technically not in the triangle?
well, it's not that far.
It's like a couple hundred meters walk.
Well,
from
the
here.
cost of an Uber will be factored into the decision making.
$0 for me though, because it's walking, and 3 of us is $0 for walking.
Well, if we walk back here and we get the Uber from here,
well,
it's
Lily's
not that
also
expensive.
True, it's back inside
Yeah,
inside the
back
triangle.
Inside. It's back inside.
Yeah,
Lily is also walking distance from there, so I can also play that card. If
that
I need
you
to.
can.
So I'm the problem.
You can sleep on the new lounge.
Solved.
No, ABC is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Great
It is.
summertime vibes.
Haven't been.
Great.
Oh, we're gonna all need to go together and put it on
Actually,
the spreadsheet.
sorry, the only downfall that I have to that, and also I'm going to have to say this about the Royal, Iron Jack on tap. Now, I like Iron Jack.
I also like Iron.
I
Jack.
like Iron Jack, but I prefer Super Crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That will also be factored in.
That's fine. It'll be on the spreadsheet.
Mm.
It'll be on the spreadsheet. But we'll we'll workshop this later.
There's a few to get through.
We'll workshop this off air. But basically, Yeah. We'll continue. Maybe we should get into some other our footy things.
Maybe.
Sorry, I'm just gonna
Gotta bring up some notable mentions.
Alrighty, notable mentions. We're not actually using sorry, it's very hard to manoeuvre this microphone. We're not actually using headphones today because we're going for the more legit look, but every time I look into that camera it looks blurry, so
Yeah, same. But
Do we need to wipe the camera maybe?
no, it's fine. Too late now. We're misfiring.
can you run your finger just over the lens?
Sure.
Maybe sure. I was gonna say fingers.
I don't
Just,
trust his fingers.
also, finger would just smudge it anyways. True, scallop
maybe.
fingers. Yeah. Well.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah, that is clearer.
Thank you,
Maybe we
Dave.
should turn the light on too.
While you're up,
Thank God we brought a producer
Yeah,
this
can
week.
I please have a new?
Anyway, I'll start us off with notable mentions because, as again, I was working all week and I forgot about them, but I wrote one thing, and all it was that Ponga's dad came out and now also Ponga and said he's not going anywhere.
And he's determined to win a
And he's
premiership.
determined to win a premiership.
That's what the fuck is going on?
Just leave it.
Leave it.
Nah,
Nothing. It's
nothing.
fine. We don't know. Is that a pop top one bar? You need to open up.
My quad local.
Yeah, so Ponga's come out stating that he's keen to win a premiership with Newcastle. He's not going anywhere. I also had that as one of mine.
Well, you know what? I think I'm thinking of the right word. I feel like that's a bit of an oxymoron.
I can see where you're going with that.
Isn't that what that means when it's like when you put two polar opposites together? Like,
Yeah, like
I want to stay at the club.
bittersweet.
I want to win a premiership. So it's like two completely opposing things next to each other.
Well, let's talk about the Knights for 2 seconds. Lost Connor Watson.
I think we sort of went through some of this.
We have, but we're going to really paraphrase it. Lost Connor Watson, Jaden Brayley's fucking cooked his knee or Achilles or something. Who are there like other than Ponga, who is a bit hot and cold in my opinion?
Yeah.
He's a very good player. Like I feel like I could bash Ponga, but I don't want to.
Apparently he's coming to a thing that I'm going to tomorrow morning.
What are you doing?
Oh, cleaning graffiti.
Is that something we skimmed over in the
I forgot to mention it.
Just how
were
you
like,
forgot to mention you're on a fucking billboard as well?
Oh, yes, that as well. I'm really stepping up in the world this week for all our listeners. One of my friends sent me a picture this week, and I'm on a billboard in down at Honeysuckle, which is just hilarious.
It is. I'm proud of you.
Of all the heads to put on a billboard. Anyway, yeah, and then tomorrow, one of the footy sponsors has put like 20 grand towards the tsunami and Tonga situation.
Yep.
For the Pacifica game tomorrow, which I'll be going to. Everyone come along, Pacifica game, 3:00, St John's Oval. Anyways, and because they've donated all this money, they've asked that they're doing a project where they like clean up Newcastle. So they've asked all the footy clubs that they're sponsoring to come down and like help them clean up graffiti this weekend.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning from 8 till about 12, I'll be cleaning graffiti off the city of Newcastle.
Cleaning
in
it
my
up.
full rugby kit.
Well, if you do happen... So, obviously, they sponsored the Knights as well. Is that why Ponga's
Yeah, I'm
going?
assuming so. Yes. Because I also heard on the Matty Johns podcast that Jack Johns was going down.
Okay, if you happen to just brush shoulders or be scrubbing the same wall, mention the show.
Yeah,
I wish we had business cards.
that's what we need because that would feel a lot less uncomfortable to me than being like, listen to my podcast.
Listen to the
Come on
podcast.
it.
Come on the podcast. We'd love to have a yarn with you, and everything I just said about Kaylin, I take back.
Maybe I'll ask one of the other ones.
Ask Jack Johns.
Yeah, I would love to have Jack Johns
I
on
reckon
here.
I would love him too. He's a fucking spunk too.
Yeah, and he just sounds like a nice guy.
He's very funny. I think he would like vibe with our sense of humour.
Yeah, and I think he would fit perfectly on the lounge here.
Fuck off, Hannah.
But yeah, no, so I'm cleaning graffiti. Don't know where that came from. Oh, we were talking about the Knights. Yes.
How did we get there?
How did we get there? Anyway, Knights winning a premiership, not going to happen. I don't know why Ponga would have said those two things in the same sentence. But
And now
here
his
we are.
dad's backing
And
him
now
up
his
as-
dad's saying the same thing. So they're both liars.
Liars. All right, I'm glad we clarified that. That is an important notable mention. So everyone, please spread that. The Pongers are liars.
We're going to get hate. Kidding, no one listens.
One of the 11 might blurt it, spread it, hopefully. Reach out, Kalen Ponga. I had a couple of notable mentions. So obviously we had the All-Stars, Indigenous All-Stars game last weekend. I actually worked, so I only caught tiny little glimpses of it, unfortunately. But the Indigenous women...
I watched a bit of this game because I wasn't quite that pissed and just yarning my head off by this stage. By the men's...
Oh, because you were out, weren't you?
I wasn't taking a lot in, yes.
Where'd you go?
Well, we went to the Prince, and then we were just sort of like chilling there, which was quite good, but it was so packed. And then
Always packed.
all the, like our new coach and a few others tried to come and join us, like Bronte and that, and they couldn't get in. So we relocated to the Burwood.
And that's an even smaller.
Yeah, but we had heaps of room to sort of squish in, and I ended up getting quite a few free beers, which was nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Anyway, the girls' game was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Good to see Bobby Law back out in the paddock for that's her first game back since ACL injury, which was good to see.
Bobby ripped and teared. Bob also, almost made she made a good dart up the sideline and almost got the bickies there, but she just got caught up short. But the Indigenous girls won 18-8 against the Maori girls, and it was Jamie Chapman. She just put on an absolute fucking clinic.
Yeah, one of her tries shifted momentum massively. She ran literally the entire field. And I tell you what, when she started running, her first few paces, I was like, oh, I don't know if she's got it.
Yeah.
And then she just broke into this most hectic
Gallop.
stride and it was like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And just got going, and I was like, nah, she's got it. She's fucking got it.
Go, girl. Go, Jamie.
Yeah, so shout out to Jamie Chapman.
Jay Chapman. Miss Chapman. Official Chapman of the podcast. No.
Oh, we know a few Chapmans. Enter and Sonny.
Actually, fuck, yeah, sorry. I know I take that back. But anyway, Jamie Chapman, you had a blinder, and Bobby, great to see you back out playing. Speaking of the women, so the NRLW kicks off this weekend. They've got a triple header at McDonald Jones Stadium. We're going to go and...
I think it's next weekend, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, next weekend. I forgot what day it was. So next weekend, the 27th, all 6 teams are going to be at McDonald Jones playing. Can't remember who's playing. I just know that... I'm guessing this as well. I'm pretty sure the Knights play Parramatta.
Could do.
At 3:40. I'm definitely going to that game to watch Bobby play. I have a baby shower that I might be able to get out of. I'm going to be extremely fucking hungover on Sunday, so...
Yeah, we do have an engagement party the day before, but very keen for that. We got our tickets today, which is good.
I owed Peter $12.
They were very expensive tickets. But yeah, keen for that. Got to rip and tear.
I'm just glad that the women's game... is back, considering all that shit that happened with COVID last year and how much they got fucked around.
Yeah.
So...
And, I kind of like the triple headers to start off the season, because I know they've got one here and then they've got another one maybe at, Shark Park or something, or, down in Sydney. And I think that's really good. I'm like... Because it is a draw. You're like... Yeah. We probably would have gone anyway, but it's like, I might go to get to go watch 3 games of NRLW at the one spot. Fucking oath.
Well, that's what I mean. This baby shower that I've got on, I do kind of want to go, but I'm I just know I'm going to not feel that great.
Are they going to listen?
No, I don't even really know the girl.
Oh, okay.
It's one of Lily's friends. And she's a legend. You'd actually like her. She's a fucking funny bitch. But I don't really know her that well. I'm going to be super duper hungover. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind just drinking some fucking expensive 4Xs at the footy with the girls.
Yeah, a bit of recovery.
Recovery session at McDonald Jones.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I just think it's good, because normally you go and there's curtain raisers and stuff, and you're like,
but this is just purely
who's really
them.
watching the curtain raisers? But it's just all NRL games back to back. I think it'd be great.
It's just all the girls ripping and
I
tearing.
wonder if they should shut that door. No, it'll be fine.
Oh, it'll be right. What else did we have? Obviously, the men played after. So Maori boys came from behind to win 16-10. Pretty good game. It was just really good to have rugby league back. I was just so excited to have rugby league back. It was a really great performance from both teams. The war cries and the dances at the start were fantastic.
Always spectacular and always just getting better each year, I think.
I get like goosebumps watching MA. Like I just love how they get into it so much. And
Annabelle shed a tear at the pub.
did she?
Yeah.
God love her. I was watching it in the crane at work. Like that's how fucking.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know where else.
Anyway, no, it was good to see rugby league back. Obviously, I didn't catch that much of it, but I did watch a mini, I think, yesterday with Pernell. Again, I was playing rummy on my phone, so I didn't catch heaps of that again. But
Fuck, we've been good today.
But yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, that's.
It was good, and all we'll say is it was really good to have rugby league back.
I will say, I thought the Indigenous side was going to smoke the Māori side.
So did I.
And then
we said this last week. The team looked way more
experienced and just like put together, and then
ball
Yeah.
come back.
nothing. So I was like, there you go. At least it was a bit of a shocking one.
There you go. What else did I have? We've already talked about Ponga. Our boy Cam Munster is in negotiations for a 5-year deal from Melbourne, worth about $4 million.
Yeah.
So, again,
He's already on at similar money to that though, isn't he?
that's it. But this is them locking him in. He'll probably
Yeah.
be their permanent 5/8 for his rest of his career.
Do you think they'll wait till the start of this season sort of goes on and like see how he plays before they like lock anything in? Or
Especially
do you
him
think
being on his alcohol ban and whatnot.
you think they'd sort of just like test the waters through the start of the year?
Look, I have no idea, but I just know that squashes another theory of ours of him going to Redcliffe.
I think we kind of squashed that already. I think that we sort of knew that was.
I feel like we've squashed every big theory that we've had about them.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna go. I honestly think Walsh might be the like most likely.
And considering he wants to come back to Australia, back to a Queensland team, that almost seems a bit too easy.
Yes.
All right, I've got one thing, and Hannah, you can jump in on this one as well, unless you have any notable mentions that you want to talk about for the week. This is a debate that I just want to sort of clear up. I posted it on our Instagram story this morning without even running it by you.
It's fine.
Basically, it's to do with where you do your grocery shopping. I've had this conversation at length this week with different people, and I obviously wanted to hear your opinion, and it was quite interesting to see what the people's had said as well. Now, I only gave the option of Woolworths and Coles because
Major suppliers in
they're,
Australia.
they're the big dogs, and that's who we fuck with, the big dogs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it came back that Coles came in at 52% with Woolworths at 48%.
Oh.
I was fucking very
When
surprised.
I ticked the poll, that was not the stats. When I
Woolies were
ticked
winning.
it, Woolies was winning by a long way.
Yeah, well,
So it should be.
Well,
But not in Newcastle.
no. So to be honest, I don't actually have like a big issue with either, but I prefer Coles. They've got heaps more vegetarian meat. The layout is better.
really?
The way it's set out, I just prefer it. Like, everything seems more logical to me. However, I do still go to Woolies. Just kind of depends on the weather, to be honest. Because if it's raining, I go to Woolworths. Because the car park there is undercover.
Where do you go?
Katara.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay.
And if it's not raining, I generally go to Waratah Coles.
Alright.
Surely you just go to Coles. You live in freaking Waratah.
No,
Yeah.
So I'm like a through and through fresh food people girl. I'm a Woolworths person. I had this yarn with Hannah the other day. I had it with my housemate as well. And obviously this is why I had to bring it up on the podcast to clear things up, because I get anxiety going into supermarkets that I'm not familiar with. And now living in Waratah, Coles at Waratah is obviously a stone's throw away.
I feel more familiar with that one, though.
It's just horrible though.
I just don't like
Because
it.
the Katara Woolies, I was going there, kind of just like switching between the two, got pretty familiar with both of them. And then the Katara Woolies completely changed their layout. And since then, I've just been a bit like,
Yeah, it is
a bit
odd.
off them. I'm like, they've switched everything. And I'm like, they're like, oh, we're trying to be more like every other Woolies in the world. And I'm like, no Woolies in the world is going to be the same, because they're all different shaped buildings, yada, yada, yada. Like, just stick to how you were.
Charlestown has the best Woolies. It's
No,
I don't- never go
I
out
would
there.
like to rebuttal that. I would like to say one thing. I was very skeptical about this. I was a Market Town Woolies girl.
Oh, no. Market Town Woolies has... No, sorry.
One of the worst.
I literally hate going to Market Town in general.
Same.
I hate the car park. I hate the place. Like, everything about Market Town just... Oh, I hate it there.
Yeah, I agree.
I
It's
really
horrible.
felt
hate
so safe and calm.
No,
there.
I feel so unsafe. Every time I feel...
Yeah, there's fucking spicy people.
No,
there.
the best shopping centre in Newcastle is the new Mayfield Coles.
Oh, I've never been.
It is so good. Everything is new. It has a sushi restaurant outside that's actually good. And it's massive and it has so much, but it's new, so it's like fresh.
I will say there's a sushi place
But I'm a
outside the
Woolworths person.
Coles.
And it's horrible.
Oh, Penel gets from it all the time.
He must have an iron stomach.
He does. Yeah, no, I don't really care, to be honest. Sometimes, like, if I just need to get things quickly, I go to Richie's IGA, just down the road.
Yeah, I've been an IGA.
Just 'cause it's really
pop-in.
close.
IGA is a
That's a
pop-in.
pop-in
It's
thing.
a
It
pop-in
is.
place.
It is.
It's weird, though. Some things will be, like, ridiculously cheaper than everything
Or
at
expensive.
other places, but most things are way more
The
expensive.
New Lambton IGA is really good.
Oh, that's the fancy one, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's got, like, a delicatessen.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, no.
But then you go out the back of it and
To
it's
be
just
honest,
back to normal IGA.
at the end of the day, I'm a pretty simple person. I buy simple things. I buy the same things. I buy my veggies. I buy bread, milk, eggs,
Fake meat.
tofu, fake meat. That is really all I buy from the shops. Doesn't, like, they sell that everywhere.
I know they sell it everywhere, but I just want to shout out to Woolworths Mayfield, which I was extremely skeptical about going to. And I'm sorry if anyone's from Mayfield here and I've just offended
I like
you.
Mayfield.
But it was the most bliss shopping experience of my life. Everything was where it needed to be. Everything was so easy to find. And even the trolleys, they weren't like those big, ugly metal steel ones. They were like these green plastic. I don't know. It was
The
a
car park's a bit fucked though.
No, well, I went at a good time, I
Reasonable
think.
time.
And it wasn't really that busy. Like, I don't go at hustle and bustle
No, me
hour.
either.
Oh, I know. Since, like, working full time, which I don't want to bring up again, but I will.
Did anyone know that
Does anyone
Peter's
know
got
that I work full time now? So, like, anyway, so we've started doing our shopping on a Sunday.
Oh, that's
Every
prime time.
man and their dog is in the shops on a Sunday, and I'm like, oh, it is stressful, but yeah, like I said, I just buy simple things. It really doesn't matter. Although I will say I'm a big one for going to Coles, but my reusable bags I take are all green bags from Woolies. So I always like look at the Coles person that's like bagging on my stuff, like, sorry, don't come here now.
Don't judge me. I'm buying your product.
Yeah.
Well, I worked at Woolies for 5 years.
Well,
So I was always a very
That's probably why you're
strong
biased.
Woolies person. But when I lived in Islington and the new Coles opened in Mayfield, it was like so nice to be able to go
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
It made a big difference.
yeah.
I hope this doesn't give me a headache tomorrow.
Sure, it'll be fine. Yeah, look, I'm easy breezy. I just
Open
don't
it for
really
me.
care where I go. But, you know, I'm kind of glad that the people sided with Coles because I feel
Thank you.
more comfortable at the Coles than I do at the Woolies.
I'm disappointed with the people that voted, and the majority was with Coles because my dad always said ugly people shop at Coles.
Well, that is true. I can't argue with him there. I will say, though, don't know what I was going to say. Concussion brain. Back on.
So if anyone can remember...
Actually, can I just do a live update? Woolworths actually seems to be winning.
Wait, did you just vote then?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've got breaking news. Woolworths has just overtaken...
This just in.
This just in, 52% has now swung to Woolworths.
Did Hannah tip the vote?
Tip the vote.
Well, we probably only had like 10 people vote, so one vote probably would tip at least 5 or 10%.
Well, that makes me feel heaps better. Should we wrap up the Woolworths talk, or have you got? Were you
No,
going to say something?
I don't think, I can't remember it if I was going to say something.
Well, let's not bring any others into this. Let's not fuck with Audi. Let's wrap it up.
No,
Don't get me
we
started
don't
on
have
Aldi.
enough- we don't have
Aldi
enough time
is
for
got
that.
some good things, but it's very
We
stressful.
don't have enough time for these fake products.
Actually, the one thing I will say about supermarkets, and if you are like myself and can get anxiety going into different shops,
Don't go into Aldi.
don't go into Harris Farm Market, because that is just blobs of like vegetables, cheese, meats. I'm like,
I love cheese, but I was like, there's just too many.
it's
to
too
pick
much.
Too much.
And I'm like, this is on. And I was hungover the first time I went in, and I'm like, the bright
That's your
lights,
first mistake.
bright lights, everything's in
Young
like
hipsters
section.
doing their Sunday shopping, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck off.
Then with their fucking
With their sack bags.
Yeah, with their tote bags,
and their septum piercing.
their tote bags and their septum piercings.
Their ripped jeans and their blue hair.
Just an update for the podcast. Kreb was thinking about doing a septum piercing, and I said, yeah, maybe, but you run the risk of sort of putting yourself in that bracket of lesbians that's the real alternate hipster ones, which there is no issue with being with that, but Kreb is
But
definitely...
they are fresh to the scene.
Kreb's also definitely like the opposite of that, because Kreb's just like a footy bloke.
Look at
So
me, I'm
like,
in my fucking football
you're-
shirt now.
So I'm just like, I was like, I'm just not sure if the vibes are going to match. And she's like, well, maybe I won't. But she's bought a magnetic one to give it a try. So maybe we'll post some pics and you guys can tell her if she
We'll
should...
do another poll on the
Yeah, we
page.
could,
and
yeah.
we'll see what people
You
think.
can tell her if she should run with it or not.
Because Hannah also said, what are you fucking going vegan now too? I said,
I think my initial reaction was, yeah, alright, go on.
Yeah, it's not been great feedback for Kreb.
yeah, so I was like, I thought, I've seen a couple of like Snapchat filters where they have the septum piercing. I think I look mad as with it. But anyway, the response from my two close friends has been quite negative. So I've bought the clip-on one and I don't even know if I'm going to get it out for these girls because they're fucking
You've
horrible.
got
We didn't check the dimensions of it either when we ordered it. It could come like this big.
Did you just get like a thin ring, like a sleeper earring, or did you get like
No,
a
it's the
chunky
double
one?
studded one that magnets itself
Oh,
on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Like,
like a
what-
little skew if as
'Cause
well.
I
Yeah, so
wanted
like
to
two
get it
little
wrong.
balls out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted the horseshoe one. I didn't want the ring. Like
Yeah.
the full ring. Just because if
Not
I've
the full
got
bull ring.
not a bull ring.
I said when
just-
she gets cooked, we can grab her by the... Come on, girl!
Let's go.
You jump on her back.
when we jump off this, we'll get the eBay purchase up. We'll run our eyes
Alright,
over
alright.
the dimensions. All right. Is that enough notable
I
mentions?
think so.
Nah, 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 come on!
All right. Star and Marge. Rihanna sings there. Yeah, we've got Rihanna contracted with us. Star and Marge. Now, I want you to listen, Hannah.
Yep.
So Star and Marge, we go through each week. We name one star of the week, someone that's something or someone who has been a star in our week, and a Marge. So a bit of a dickhead or a bummer that's happened in the week. So we'll go to you last.
Great.
So you have a time to think.
Good.
Petey, you always kick us off. So have you got a star?
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it to the old people that sold us the TV for very cheap for such a nice TV.
Yeah, fucking oath, and it's huge.
It's quite a steal. Yeah, it's huge, and we're very happy with it, and it was very cheap. And also for Pernell and Calvin for going and picking it up, and they had to literally remove the stand to get it in the into the car because it was so big. And it is a heavy bastard.
Yeah, TVs aren't light.
It's so heavy.
Nothing these days is light. Everything's getting
No,
smaller.
I reckon things are getting lighter.
Really?
This is like a bit older, but it's like heavy as. It's got like a full steel plate in the bottom.
See, my TV that I just bought was fucking heavy.
Was it? Yeah.
And it was like a thin Kogan one. I was like, what the fuck
When
is
I
in
was
here?
doing removal listing, that's a lot heavier than what the TVs were there.
Really?
Yeah, the TV like
TVs
that is.
used to have a booty on the back.
You
of
guys
them.
try and pick that up soon. It's fucking heavy.
We'll do
We'll do a,
we'll do a deadlift with it later.
Yeah, sounds good.
After we
Your
finish.
star?
So I'm going to give my star to my little trip to Foster, just my little night away with on Lily's work trip because I really enjoyed myself. I went swimming and walking around the beach and enjoyed beers the whole time. Like I just kept saying like, "Do you want another beer?" And she's like, "Well, no, I've got to work tomorrow." And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm on holidays." Got up, we went for a walk the next morning. I went for a dip when she went off to work and had coffee and banana bread. I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to go home."
Yeah.
So anyway, that got my star. Hannah?
So is this Friday to Friday?
Yeah, so
What
just
this is?
just the
Look,
week.
you weren't here for the last 2 weeks, so for something,
Alright.
yeah. But
Well-
this week would be.
My thing would be, since last Friday was obviously the Women's Pink Stumps Day
Ooh,
on Saturday
yep,
last
yep,
week,
yep,
that'd
yep.
definitely be my start. It was a good day. We raised over $2,000 for
Fuck yeah.
breast cancer, so that was pretty nice.
That's good.
That's
and
a-
it was.
yeah,
And
that's
did it get a bit messy or what?
It did get a bit messy. It
Yeah.
did end up back at
I
my
did
house.
try. I did try to
yeah,
get there, but then
it
I
was-
also just got stuck yarning and having free beers at the Burwood, so I never made it.
That's you don't leave. When free beers are involved.
It's a trap.
You don't leave. You don't leave that. But no, it was a really fun day, and we raised a lot of money, so
That is
it was a
good.
good time.
That's definitely a star
Yeah.
day. All right, Petey. Who's your Marge?
Well, I think I'm going to tie it again. I love a slash. So I'm going with the internet tonight
Oh, fucking oath.
because that has been the biggest Marge. Like, all I wanted to do was watch the footy on our big new TV. And
All we wanted to do was like a live show watching the football.
on our new TV.
On the TV. That's all we've wanted since we started this podcast.
So that was a Marge. And this person wasn't going to get a Marge, but as we workshopped it through the show, I actually think that my plumber gets
Plumber
a
of the
Marge
week.
too.
He gets Marge of the week.
Yeah, he's also a Marge because he was very rude to me now that I think of it.
Well, do you know what? Now that you mention it, he was a bit of a cunt.
Bit of a Marge.
It was a big Marge.
No, he was a fuckwit.
Who was your Marge?
Okay, so mine's sort of a self-Marge. Because, well, yeah, it's going to be a self-Marge because I should have been more careful. But at work today, I was scraping something off a piece of equipment that I was using, and I accidentally got too close to what I was doing. Hopefully no one from Tomago's listening to this because I didn't report it. But I leant in by, like, doing it, and it looks like... and I've accidentally hit my neck on a power screw.
Is?
Yeah, it looks like a hickey. Yeah. But I burnt my neck. So everything at Tomago, everything at my workplace...
We'll like that.
I will get our producer to scrub that
we'll
out.
edit that out. Everything at my workplace is extremely fucking hot, and I was wearing the correct PPE, but however, I just leant in a little bit too far, and I did burn my neck, and it's a little bit sore, and it
Burns take ages to heal.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, this better not like bubble up or anything, because I didn't report it, and it was also the hottest fucking day ever, and I'm just like sweating and feeling it. But anyway, that's probably my fault for just doing my job too good.
Oh, yeah. Mine goes to the Industrial Relations Committee this week for putting out a message on Tuesday night to let the nurses know that they are not to strike tomorrow. So basically, to minimise disruption to the important health service that you work in, do not strike tomorrow because guilt tripping us into that's bad for your patients. So that's my Marge of the week.
That is a Marge.
Yeah.
There's a
Considering
few
you're all
Marges lying around
Yeah.
this year.
Considering you're all under the New South Wales health
Yeah.
umbrella,
And that's not how strikes work. Like, you can't just be like, don't.
It's like, I'm sure all the workplaces were probably like, yeah, we don't really want to lose all our staff to
Yeah.
a strike, but they're like,
Exactly. But you're losing them already
that's what
to
happened.
COVID.
Yeah.
So.
That's also like what strikes are about. It's like stopping
Yeah,
work
exactly. And
so that people do something because they realise when we're not here, they can't get anything done.
And I want to slash as well to another bloke in the parliament that said today that it's too expensive to give the ratios we wanted to cost $6 billion or something like that. He said something billion. And then another person has worked out the budget of how many football stadiums have been updated, and that might be a bit against the podcast. And another army thing that they did, and it worked out that could sustain us if they didn't do those couple things for the next 10 years.
holy fuck.
So, you know, it's all a decision they've got to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're the ones who make these decisions.
You
I
just
also
gotta
don't
choose
want to
where you spend
like.
your money.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers with the army, but
It's all right. We're here to do that.
like, look, I think we need an army, of course, and I think what they do is great work. But how much more funds do we need? Like, essentially, if a whole world war or something broke out, an army's not going to stop it. Like, they're going to just blow us up.
The next war is going to be fought by dudes behind the computers.
Yeah.
It's going to be Russia pushing a button
And
and,
it'll just be like,
blowing a country
And I'm
up.
like, oh, thank God we had all our troops here.
It's not going to be frontline.
Not saying they don't
infantry.
do great work because they do great work, but I think
I'm
that
guessing
they're
all
like
their-
I think the nurses are doing great work too. I think we need to split
Yeah,
that
we've got a
budget.
current issue, not a potential issue. So
Yeah.
like, let's just
Yep.
we'll focus on what's at hand.
That's
I
and
think so
point.
too.
they can have a greater budget when they need it.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree.
that's a very good point. Fuck,
I
that
agree.
got deep real quick. So
But I'm all for updating football stadiums too.
we're looking forward to Allianz being finished this year, which is the Roosters' home ground, Hannah. The only other thing I wanted to just bring up, the trials for the rugby league are on this weekend. So tune in to KO. They're broadcasting all of them. We were watching the Roosters versus Raiders
The Chookies did lose.
They lost.
But at the same time, Raiders actually put out like a pretty decent
Gun
side,
team.
and whereas Roosters put no
Their
first
third
graders.
grade.
Yeah.
Their third grade team on.
I tell you what though, from watching, before you got here, I was watching the first half. The little guy playing 7, Sandon Smith,
Yeah.
he was actually quite good. He's apparently a young one who's come through the Rooster system. I think he'll be quite good.
We like that. We like
And there was
the-
another centre or a centre or a wing that had a pretty good game too. But I hate to say it, Marge, who I thought, okay, you've at least played some NRL.
Yeah, we know Marshke.
Not a great game from Marge.
Look, like it's a trial, that's all I'll say.
Yes.
This is what we do these trials for. We've got this week and next week to sort of get ready for the 12th.
Yes.
And are we going to the 12th?
Well, I think yes.
I'm definitely going. So I need to
I'd be
know
keen.
if you and Purnell want to come.
Look, I'll ask him, but I think he was very keen.
Yeah, I think he was definitely the one saying yes, but we need to get down in action.
I just want to make sure that I don't have a footy game on.
Yeah, well, that's why I needed to ask you.
Yes. If I don't have any footy or anything on, then yes.
And are we going to go down there and stay, or are we going to go down and come back? Because I think it's a 3 o'clock game.
If you go down and come back, I'm in.
Oh, yeah, because you've got to work the next
I work
day.
Sunday.
There was also someone else I was talking to this about, unless it was you.
Could have been me.
I do yarn to a lot of people. All right, yeah, so we got another game on tonight, can't remember who. We got 2 games tomorrow, 2 games Sunday. Knights versus
Manly versus Tigers was tonight.
Oh, there you go. Manly versus Tigers. That would be on now.
They had like Turbo and everyone playing, so they were rolled out a real side. Maybe it's because the Tigers beat them in this trial last year.
And they carried on like they'd fucking won the premiership.
Yeah, so
they carried on more.
Manly was just like, oh,
You're
we
gonna take
can't,
the win.
we can't go through that
They
again.
carried on like more than the 2005 premiership. It was embarrassing. Fuck the Tigers. All right. Well, does anyone else have anything they want to say before we sign off?
Thanks for having me, guys.
No.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for being on the couch with us with Pete Nash. Fun Fresh Footy.
On the couch with Pete Nash.
That's what this podcast is called.
Yeah, we're changing it just for this episode. Everyone have a great weekend. Stay hot, not sober. And that's us.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it.
Fuck, I hope that recorded.
I was literally about to say that. What if it...
I don't know if I had the mental capacity to do it again.
Oh, fuck no, we're not doing another one.
I think we just have to put out a technical difficulty.
You just put the microphone from that.
Yeah, we have had to do that before.
Yeah, we've definitely done that before. Oh,
That was fun.
it is. It is fun. And
You can use my sound. I'm recording at the moment. I've got my own pink microphone at the moment because when mum and
I
dad,
actually have more mics.
Yeah.
They're just at mum and
well,
dad's.
when mum and dad went backpacking in the 80s for 2 years, they went around the whole world, and mum wrote in a diary every single day. So I've been recording that.
This is my lockdown diaries.
I love that.
From when I was in COVID, and I wrote
Journals.
I wrote 2 entries, and I love this one. I feel so lazy. I can't be fucked doing anything. I will try do a little exercise today because I'm so bloated from dinner last night. I had Guzman's.
A lot goes on during lockdown, obviously.
Oh, I haven't stopped this. Okay, that looks